I want to give y'all some teams, and I want y'all to tell me who's the biggest X factor for this team's success.
Bet.
Starting off with the Rockets, who we seen last night.
The Rockets are an interesting one because they play just such a one-of-one brand of basketball. It might have to be like Steven Adams for real. Steven Adams could swing a playoff series for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you watched yesterday, and we're going to get to last night's games. A lot of the winning plays they made were just purely off effort, and Steven Adams is going to get to that glass 100% of the time. So it might be somebody like him.
Mm-hmm. I would say Reed Shepard.
See, it's all different answers. I thought that was for this team, that's the right thing because they have so many players. It's like he probably going to have to step up in the playoffs. Because for this team, success is deep, like a deep run. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah, I was thinking Reed Shepard just because, like, off the bench guard play, I think he could just provide that. And if he can continue to shoot the ball at a high rate, I mean, it makes teams have to respect him. And when you talk about a playoff series, if he can have some games where he's hitting 3-4 threes, that's huge for a team like that.
Are y'all scared of him in the playoffs? Like his
Matchup-wise?
defensive limitations because of his size. I mean, obviously they're not expecting him to play 40 minutes a night.
Yeah, not really, because sometimes they play zone. So the zone a lot of times that can hide someone's defensive woes as long as they have the IQ to play within the zone, and I think he does.
Okay. Yeah, Reed Shepard cool. I just think he's so young and he's not really dependent on their winning. That I would probably go a different direction, somewhere like Jabari or Amin Thompson, because they go so big and with some of those lineups, it could limit his shooting. As we know, last year in the playoffs, they couldn't really make a shot against the Warriors outside of Fred VanVleet. They'll have Kevin Durant; he'll always be able to make shots. But I think Jabari, with his size and shooting ability, that'll be a big factor for them. And then Amin Thompson, if he can just continue to find ways to be effective, offensive rebounding, cutting, dunker spot, all of that stuff, not letting a team take him out from a defensive standpoint. And then the pressure he'll be up against, because if they go against a team like the Thunder, he has the responsibility of guarding the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders of the world. So that, to me, is like the big factor. Not that they would ask him to stop Shai, but, I mean, you would have to not allow him to have.
Yeah, I think it's either close between Jabari or Amen for me. Amen for the shooting, I guess, because it's the playoffs and just teams want to take advantage of that, but he does a pretty good job. And then Jabari, because they just need him to be consistent. And he's been pretty good this season, but again, in the playoffs, they going to need that three ball from him as much as the defense.
Amin Thompson leads the league in foot on the line, 2-pointers. Because he does a toe tap before he takes a jumper. He does, yeah. And a lot of times that toe tap puts his foot literally on the line.
If it ain't him, it's probably KD.
That's just the whole team.
I like that he's taking them, though. Yeah. Next thing we got is the Knicks.
Josh Hart.
It has to be Josh Hart, right?
Yeah, Josh Hart is just such a menace on the offensive glass that, like, he just helps the team just by creating extra possessions. Like, the Knicks are the best offensive rebounding team in the league, and so that
is that true? Over the Rockets? I think the Rockets are historic right now.
Okay, maybe they're like second then, or third. My bad. I remember I looked the other day and I was like, wow, they averaging a lot. But that's a big reason why they're the best offense. Like, that literally helps catapult that offense as well, because they're doing them with generating more offensive possessions. So, and that's part of Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, you know what? Because we all agree it's Josh Hart, I'll swerve a little bit and say Mitchell Robinson, because I think based on the way the starters are playing the season, that is the Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns front court, Mitchell Robinson now becomes found money, and obviously we need him to be healthy for it to really, really be what it is. But for him to be able to go into a playoff series and be like, hey, here's 15 to 20 minutes of just heavy offensive rebound and then nothing but hustle, that can also swing a game. And in the playoffs, sometimes all you need is one extra game. So I'll go with him. But Josh Hart is literally playing the best basketball he's ever played in his life. 7 points per game as a starter. And I like that Mike Brown is allowing him to go out there. We're going to do some cup stuff, but I watched a lot of his recent games as a starter and seeing how he's really getting to that 16, but I'll save it for once we get to them cup previews.
Yeah, it's got to be Josh Hart. And if he's going to shoot the ball the way he's been shooting it as of lately, I don't know if y'all have seen his finger. It's still mind-blowing that he's shooting the ball at all, let alone making them. It just opens up a lot for the team. And Josh Hart has always been an X factor since he's been here, in my opinion. He's just a Swiss Army knife at 6'4". He can guard up and down, offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, playmaking, coast-to-coast finishing. rim to rim. Sometimes he can hit 4 threes.
One of the best connectors in the game.
Man, that's our X factor for sure.
I think it was Van Gundy on the broadcast, not last game, but one of the recent games. Like, I don't know how many people I trust more in the open court more than Josh Hart. It's like Giannis, and that may be the whole list. And I'm like,
he said that last year as well.
Man, that's kind of crazy. But I can't say he that crazy because Josh Hart really just grab it and go, and nobody can really stay in front of him.
I mean, LeBron comes to mind as well.
LeBron's 41.
Yeah, it's tough.
Jalen Johnson's high on that list.
Yeah.
Last
I
year,
would
Scottie
agree.
Barnes at the bottom of that list. Now he's towards the top. There's some guys, but I just think that it's funny that all those other dudes are like, those guys are going to be all-stars. Then it's like Josh Hart role player.
Next thing we got is the Spurs.
Ooh. It might be – I'm thinking it might be Stephon Castle, man. He's having a jump right now, and a lot of it has to do, if I'm thinking about, posting success, his jump shooting is going to be really something that other teams are going to allow him to have. So him being able to shoot 38% in the postseason series could be it. But they actually got a lot of X factor. Like Keldon Johnson can be that type of dude where he used to average 20 points per game. Now he plays like 20 minutes, but it's a really good 20 minutes per game. Harrison Barnes don't miss corner threes, so that could be an X factor. Wemby's health could be an X factor. It's a lot.
He just took mine. Wemby and his health. We've seen a lot of flashes. They've been good without him, but I was saying the first stretch when Wemby was there that this team, to me, is ahead of schedule, and that people should take them a lot more serious. And I think this is more than a cute team. And De'Aaron Fox has come back and shown me that I should continue to think that way. But they can't be that team without Wemby in his presence. And like, I know he's doing good. I know he's on his way back. Mitch Johnson was saying
It's possible that he can get there for the NBA Cup semi. But yeah, it's really about keeping him on the court because that's how you get to that ultimate ceiling that you need to be as a team.
I had some cinnamon this morning. That's why.
You did the cinnamon challenge.
I ain't do that, but I had some cinnamon. But yeah, man, Wemby. But I think Castle is a great answer as well.
Yeah, I think the Wemby one is a good one too because you just want to get his feet wet for the playoffs too because you want to be in it for the long run.
But more than his feet wet, this team, I think, could throw a curveball into
win
the
a
mix.
series.
Yeah.
Next thing we got is the Pistons.
Detroit.
I would probably go with Sar Thompson. I just think he's so dynamic in what he could do on the court, and we saw last year in the playoffs when it came to defensively guarding Jalen Brunson. But at the beginning of the series, he couldn't really stay out of foul trouble. So if he's learned from those mistakes and he's able to stay on the court and actually play that lockdown defense that we know he could play, that could swing a series because he can really make the other team's best ball player really struggle. That's how good of a defender he is.
This is the toughest one you've thrown at us so far. Because I like to look at like the reference that we have of last year's postseason for them. And it was so much Cade. And they just needed somebody to alleviate the pressure. And it ended up being like Dennis Schroeder some and then Malik Beasley. Both of those dudes are gone. So it's like, I don't know who that in the postseason series where like we going to take the ball out of Cade Cunningham's hands. That is the X Factor guy. And I just don't know who that is yet.
For me, it would probably be between Duncan Robinson and Beef Stew. I think Beef Stew is made for playoff basketball, but I also think because of the severity of the level of play and the stakes, his juices get flowing and he get ejected. We need him to be around and we need him to be on the floor. He has to understand he is, at this point, more than an enforcer. So it's important that he's on the floor. So he'd probably be my X factor.